Hi everybody, it's Lori Bradley and I'm here in St. Louis, Missouri, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and we are celebrating celebration this week and next. And so tonight I thought, actually I was going to do afternoon, and I thought, no, I have a free evening tonight, and then I realized I had a college counseling meeting until 7, and so anyway, 7:30, here we are, and we are going to use some of the cute little fruit salad designer series paper that's a celebration freebie, and we're also going to use 2 different stamp sets. If you'd like to play along, what you need to do the projects tonight, you can use whatever designer series paper that you want. You need a 6x6 piece. Doesn't matter if it's flowers or fruit or stripes, polka dots, whatever you want. And also 2 card bases, 2 8.5 by 5.5 card bases. Color doesn't matter, but it just needs to coordinate with your designer series paper. So tonight, instead of doing just 1 project, we're actually going to make 2. We're going to use a whole sheet of the 6x6 paper with no waste, because sometimes, and I have a whole ton of them I can show you, I end up with little scraps, I end up with strips that I don't need, and I think, what am I going to do with this? So 6x6, we're going to make 2 cards, use all the pieces, and we're going to have a little bit of fun. So let's get going. Let me turn you around here and get started. I'm going to show you, we are going to use the apples from the fruit salad paper. When I first saw the fruit salad paper, I was kind of like, I don't know about this paper. You know, I tend to have that situation where I'm like, I don't know, do I like it? Do I not? What's the story? You know, that kind of thing. So I have decided actually that the fruit salad paper is okay. And it is a free with $60 purchase. Let me show it to you really quick. And you can see the scraps I was talking about. I have some pieces. I have little strips. I have some smaller pieces. My card tomorrow, I use some of my scraps from a different package. So be sure to tune in tomorrow at 3 for that card. Okay, so we have bananas and watermelon, cherries and oranges, and the back is just a fun green pattern. We have that one. We have just bananas. You might have somebody in your life who just loves bananas, with yellow on the back. You don't even have to make this a fruit card. You could make this whatever card you wanted. Oranges and lemons. Those are kind of fun and bright as well, with the slices on the back. Hey Monica, thanks for joining me tonight. Good to see you. Are you playing along or are you just watching? Cantaloupe. I have never seen a piece of designer series paper that is cantaloupe, and the back looks like the outside of the rind of the cantaloupe. That's kind of fun. Lots of pictures of them in this. A close-up of the orange segments with all the segments with the pith, I believe is that word. Okay, we've got pineapple. We've got all the fruit, pineapple rings, pineapple chunks. I really like this one. There's the watermelon, the outside of the watermelon, and there's the inside. We have, let's see, pears. I mean, we've got all the fruit covered. We have pears, yellow and green, and yellow background. Again, doesn't have to be a fruit project. It could be whatever you want it to be. Let's see. I think that I've shown you. I didn't show this one yet. This one I made a card with earlier today. The strawberries and bananas and oranges and kiwi, but it's with the Coastal Cabana background. So, all right, I think that is all of them. So I'm gonna take these aside. We're gonna use the apples. And when I think of the apples, I kind of think of school. Don't you think of the apple for the teacher? So I think if you use the apple paper, I think that'd be a great thing for a set of cards for for your child's teacher or teacher friend or something like that. Real quick, I'm going to show you. I've got 3 card bases here, and I'm trying to decide if I want to use I think I'll use Granny Apple Green and red. I think that's what I'll do. I'll use the color and save that white for later. Unless Monica has another opinion, and she usually always has a great idea. So, all right, so if you're just joining me and you want to follow along, You can just watch, not a problem. Or if you want to craft along with me, that's also perfect. I'm going to start with my paper trimmer, and I'm going to score both of these pieces at 4 1/4. So I've on the 8 1/2 inch side. So I'm going to make it at 4 1/4. Make sure when you use your trimmer, the lighter blade is the scoring blade, the darker blade is the cutting blade. So we're going to score it at 4 1/4 on both of them. All right, now one of them I'm going to leave just like that. It's going to be a full front card. I think I'm going to take my red. Yeah, I'm going to take my red and I'm going to cut 1 inch off of that front piece. Actually, it doesn't matter which side you cut the 1 inch. So you're going to, there's your score line. So on either side, you're going to take 1 inch with the red strip. Don't throw that away. We're going to use that. We're just going to set that aside for a second. All right. So I have one base now that's 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. That's my granny apple green. And I've got one that's 8 1/2 by 7 1/2 actually, and they're both scored at 4 1/4. Okay. Now we're going to do something with our apple paper. So I'm going to turn it and I'm going to cut a 1/2 inch off the bottom. I don't think it really matters if it's the bottom or the top. Either one is fine depending on what your paper is. And I'm just going to cut that off. I'm going to cut that 1/2 inch off. Okay. Now typically we lose that. We don't use it. We're actually going to use this. So sit that 1/2 inch piece aside with the red piece that you cut earlier. And then we're going to turn it. And we're going to cut it at 3 inches. So down the 3-inch line. And that's going to cut that piece that's remaining right in half. Okay. So we have, that's all the cuts that we're going to do. So I have 2 pieces of 3 by 5 1/2. And then I have the bottom piece that fit right here. And that's a 1/2 inch by 6 inches. Okay. So go ahead and cut that. And then we have this 1 inch piece that we cut off of our card. Okay. I like to use a lot of times, and I have, let me see, while you cut, I have a sample. One of the cards I made this week, I used a 3 by 4 piece of designer series paper. That I love to use that size with 12 by 12 paper because you can get so many out of one piece of paper and not waste any. But you'll see that that doesn't work because a 3 by 4 gives you this strip across the bottom. And tomorrow I'm actually going to use those strips. So I'll show you how to fix. I say fix. How to do that. All right, yay, Lisa. I'm glad. Okay, so you just give me the thumbs up. This is what we've got. We've got our designer series square cut into 3 pieces. We have a 1 inch strip. I'm normally a matte kind of girl. I like to make things matted. I don't like to the vertical cut. So you're going to cut a 1/2 inch off the bottom. This piece is a 1/2 inch off the bottom. And then turn it, and that's 3 inches. So you've got a 3 by 5 1/2 and another 3 by 5 1/2. So if your paper is 6 by 6, then it's just exactly in half. Okay. I feel like my paper's crooked today. All right, so I'm going to sit these aside for just a second. I'm going to set one of them aside and my strip here. I'm going to hang on to my strip. I'm going to set this piece aside. I'm going to start with my red card. And this is the piece that has kind of the fun front. And I'm going to glue this right on the front of the card. And it is going to be kind of right in the middle. And it'll look like there's a red mat down both sides. Sometimes when you cut things and they're not cut on at the same exact time, it goes a little bit long. just if you have a little bit of extra, you could see it, just flip it over and trim it. So we're gonna glue it down from the top, all the way across, all the way down. Use my liquid glue. And then we're gonna center it on the front of the shorter flap, or the more narrow flap. And that's gonna be the front of the card. So keep that in mind when you place your designer series paper. Okay, like I said, sometimes when you don't cut them at the same time, they don't line up, and I don't really know why that is. Okay, so now we have our front. Pretty simple, right? Now, I'm gonna take this piece, and since I cut it off the bottom, I can't put it up the side like this because the apples are sideways. So I'm gonna flip it over, and we're gonna use the back piece, and I'm gonna put that right in the middle. So you're gonna have a 1/4 inch on each side. Okay, start at one end, because your 6-inch strip is too long. Okay. So just start at one end, right in the center of your space. Just like that. I'm giving you the basic gist of how it looks. And then we're going to cut this piece off so that it is exactly the same. I got a little glue on there. Okay, so it's going to look like this. And that is the basic part of this card. But I'm gonna zhuzh it up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and decorate it. You can decorate yours now, or you can do it in a little bit. It's entirely up to you. Oh, actually, I've got to grab a scrap of grainy apple green. I actually, anybody who knows me, this will be very shocking to you. I actually put away all of my cardstock today, and so now I've got to dig for a second. All right, I actually put it on the table next to me. Okay, so I have an extra piece of grainy apple green. For my card like this from earlier today, I did 2 circles. I just punched those out, and then I did a stylish shapes die. That's fine. I may just do that again because that was pretty simple. I have 2 punches. I have a 1 3/4 and a 2-inch. I'm gonna do the grainy apple green and a 2-inch punch. And then let's see. Red. I guess I need to dig out a red scrap. Luckily, I had a whole bag of red scraps that didn't fit in my cabinet, so we're still good. All right. I'm gonna make one of those in red. You could also do another piece of designer series paper for this if you so chose. We could have done that red pattern. My sleeves are bothering me. All right, so we have our green circle and we have our red circle. I'm gonna go ahead and put those 2 together. And there is no right or wrong to how you decorate your card. You can stamp directly on your designer series paper if that's the kind of card it is, or you can, this kind of looks watermelon-y. All right, so I did the green on the background and the red on the inside so that it showed a little bit more. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead, I already die cut some circles and some squares and some things from the stylish shapes and also the everyday details. I have 2 stamp sets here ready to use that are both Celebration stamp sets. One is called A Day to Celebrate, and that is is in the little Celebration flyer. And then a couple weeks ago, they added some catalog items in the photopolymer Beautiful Butterfly stamp set, which is amazing and has a hybrid embossing folder to match, you can get the stamp set for free and only pay $33 for the dies and the embossing folder, which is a great deal. And that's my card club this month, which is pretty exciting. The happy birthday and the so thankful, actually this happy birthday does not fit. I was about to tell a lie. The so thankful fits. So I think for this one, I'm just going to do so thankful. But also the happy birthday from this one would fit. So what do you think? Happy birthday card or a thank you card? You can take your pick. I'm going to use red ink so that they stand out. So happy birthday or so thankful. Monica, I know you always have opinions. You always have good judgment. So let's hear what you've got to say. Happy birthday. That'll look like this. Happy birthday. And I don't have a so thankful cut. So one of those two. Birthday. I knew you were going to say that, actually. All right, so let's do it. Let's do it. I'm going to go happy birthday. And this is from the Day to Celebrate stamp set. So I'm going to use my red ink, my real red. And so thankful. Oh my goodness, you guys. I'll just stamp both of them. I think I have two. I have two of those little banners here. Let's see what we've got. All right, I'll do one of each. And then we can... All right, I'm just going to put it right in the middle. And then I'll do so thankful. Actually, I'll just make another set and I'll do the opposite one on the other set. So, okay, put my red ink away because that would be nightmarish to get all over myself. All right, now, all right, we have a happy birthday on that. So I'm going to use so thankful on this, but I will make a happy birthday one. I promise. I promise. Okay, now I don't want to glue this flat. I'm going to pop it up, but I want to put a little bit of twine behind it, just to add a little bit of depth. I lost my twine. I'm so proud of myself this afternoon. I got both the cards ready for tonight. I made my sample. I got the pieces cut, and I have tomorrow afternoon's card ready as well. So tomorrow at 3, we're going to look at a different designer series paper. All right, and you know me and bows, so I'm just going to make a loop, pretend like I'm tying a bow, and I'm going to tape it on the back, just like that. Doesn't matter how many loops, doesn't matter. You might not even have ribbon on yours, and that's okay. That's okay. Actually, for those of you who are joining me, I'm gonna start a thread on my page for people who made cards that go with that are based on this. It's not a theme, based on this pattern, as my Colin would say. And I will draw a prize from those who post their pictures. So in the pictures, make sure that you do that. And we're going to put this on here with dimensionals. So I'll remind you of that at the end today. Can't believe celebration's almost over. It's the best time of the year. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do 4 dimensionals just so my banner stays up. Just want to make sure. All right, now I'm going to glue this directly onto this card front, but because this edge doesn't go all the way to the edge of the card, I need to make sure that I only put the adhesive on half so that it doesn't go the whole way. So make sure if you have something on yours, don't Don't glue your card together is the moral of that story. Okay, now I think it still needs just a little bit of oomph because everything needs some bling, right? And so I'm going to use some of the purple, which are not all purple adhesive back sequins, which are also a celebration item, and I'm going to use the white ones. And I'm just going to put a couple of those on the card. The one thing other than this that I would do normally is I'd put a white panel in here, and I didn't cut that because I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about the actual card, so I would add that as well. Let's see, let's put one there. All right, so there's card number 1, and then there's my one from earlier today. Same pattern. Yeah, I would do a white panel here, so I will do that and add that later. All right, so now you have, this is what you have left. You have, where did my cards go? Here's my bed if it wasn't attached, y'all. Okay, now we've got our green card. Greeny apple green, and I'm just gonna fold that in half. Okay, this one's very straightforward. It's just a card folded in half. Now, here's the thing. This is gonna go right in the middle, and the 5.5 will go top to bottom. That's perfect. But you still have this strip that you cut off of the side of your other card. We're not gonna waste this because goodness knows I literally have a whole bag of red scraps. I don't need any more red scraps. So take your paper trimmer. This is 1 inch. Take your paper trimmer, and we're going to cut that in half. So it's going to be 2 half-inch pieces. Just like this. Okay. So now you have 2 half-inch pieces. And we're going to make a little border. This is where my matting comes in. We're going to do that on each side. And I think that the easiest way to do it, to make sure it's lined up, I'm just going to put adhesive down the edge of my designer series paper. I'm going to do one at a time so I don't get glue all over everything. And I'm going to just lay that on there. And however big you want your margin to be is totally fine. Just like that. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. If I place it from the front, then I can see how even they are. So if I've got the glue on the back and I lift it up, I can see how even my margins are. So with 1 piece of 6x6 cardstock and one whole sheet of cardstock, you've got 2 cards, 0 waste. Okay, we're not done with this one yet, so hang tight. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put stronger adhesive on the rest of this. And they're not the exact same card, so that's even better. You've got an assortment, same paper, just a different. Always start at one end, and then if we need to do any trimming, then we can do that at the other end. Okay, so there's card number 2, but we're not done. We're not done. We gotta decorate it a little bit. So let's see. I'm gonna do another green. What do you think? Red ink, or I think I'm gonna do green or red ink. I'm gonna do a green circle. Let's try a green circle, and then we'll see what. I think I want red ink so that it'll stand out a little more. Here's our green circle. So if I put that there, that's probably going to show up. Well, what do you think? Red. I feel like the eye doctor. 1 or 2. Red or green. Or, hang on. We can get really fancy and do both. Anyone have an opinion? I love opinions. As long as I'm not asking you where to eat dinner, right? Okay, let's try this. And there it is with both. I don't know. Green? Just green or both green and red? Just the green. I need to put, so somebody remind me. I need a new 1 3/4 inch punch. Look, I have got the old whale tail style. Looks like the whale. I need a new one. It's not quite as sharp as it used to be. All right, so just the green. I think that'll work. Okay, so now I have all these other pieces. I actually cut extra of the white because, you know, safety first. Okay, so I am going to use red ink now since I'm going to use the green circle. And I'm just going to use hello. And the hello comes from the butterfly stamp set. So now I have so thankful and hello from the butterfly. Okay. Shift it up. Yes, it needs to go fully on the apples. Is that what you're saying? I think, Cindy, that's what you're telling me. And yes, I completely agree with that statement. It's like when I did this one, I did the red fully on the fruit so it didn't get lost. Okay, so let's do hello. And our red ink. Okay, glue that on. And again, I would put a white panel on the inside, but I wasn't thinking about that, so. Okay. Then we will, let's go ahead and put some white twine behind that as well, because I have it here and I used it. It's amazing how many things for my projects get decided because they're still on my desk. Actually happened earlier today. I was sure I was going to use Countryside Corners again, the rug dies, and I was like, no, I already used those 2 days this week. I'm not using those again. Does that ever happen to you? Scotch tape. Here we go. On the green apple. Oh, this green apple right here. Should I do the red circle behind it? Should I try a red circle? I see what you're saying. It's getting lost on this green apple right here. In my head, I was thinking you meant the green apple on the side. Okay, hang on. Takes a village to make a card, right? Is that better? Let's see. You could just do it right in the center, maybe? And then if I pop it up on dimensionals, will that help you? Or do you like just the green? Help me out, girls. Yes. Yes with the red? Yes with both. I could use a bigger white ribbon as well. So yes to both colors, is that what you're saying? Because I already forgot the question. Move it up. Put it in the center. Let me put it in the center. Move it up. Okay. Is that better? For now, I don't need green. I'm going to lose. Maybe I'll just cover up that green apple altogether. How about that? With both. Okay. With both. I'm going to commit to that. This is like a game. Yes, it's definitely going on dimensionals for sure. Okay. I still got my tape on my finger. Definitely with dimensionals. You know what might make me happier is if I put white ribbon around this piece and then I don't, we'll just move it up. I'm just going to cover up that green apple. That green apple's making me crazy. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tape this on the back. So now I got to make my loops bigger because I added an extra layer. That's okay. We can fix that. Oh, I tell you. Okay. So I hope that you all are making this card with me, with knot green and red and granny apple and all of those things covering up my apples. Okay. We'll dimensional it. We're going to put it right in the middle. We're going to cover up that guy. And then I hope all of us are happy then. Let's see. We're sort of happy. Okay. Right in the middle with my loops. Covering my green apple. And then it still needs some bling. So let's put some of the sequins on here. So tonight's card, we have the granny apple, we have the fruit salad paper, we have the purple sequins, and we have the 2 stamp sets with both of our choices. So we have the beautiful butterflies, Day to Celebrate. And I am bound and determined to show as many celebration things as possible. All right, so Lisa, when I, and all of you who are watching, when I post the link to share your pictures, just make sure that you add your pictures onto that thread by Sunday. Today is Thursday. Do it by Sunday night, and I will announce the winner on, actually you can do it Monday by noon. Monday by noon. And I will announce the winner during my live on Monday afternoon. So, all right, so, and you will win a prize. I don't know what that prize is yet, but we're going to have a prize. Okay. So there's our cards with the apples. We have the 1-inch strip off the side, 1/2-inch strip of DSP. Took that 1-inch strip from the card front over to this side, cut it in half to make a mat for that. And then I'll show you my other sample. So this is the same card, different colors, different paper. And then this one, there's so many choices that you could do. You could do whatever colors, whatever paper you have. Oh, I didn't put bling on this one. I'll have to do that. All right, so there are 2 cards for today. You got 2 instead of 1 for your celebration projects. I will look forward to seeing what you all did, and I will see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock for tomorrow's project. And we're going to use the toadstool paper. And we're not going to use the toadstools because I don't have the toadstool stamp set. So we are going to make a different card with it. So thank you for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed the craft along. If you did enjoy the craft along, let me know that. I'd like to do that more often if that's something that people would enjoy doing. So just let me know. Have a great rest of your night, and I will see you tomorrow.